Hello, everyone. This is Robert Patton. Hope you're all doing good today, and I'm glad you could all make it to this presentation. I want to give you a little background first as to what the presentation is about. Uh, Within the last couple of weeks, I was able to meet um, Jacqueline Watson from your company at a networking event. During our conversation, she was telling me that she was having some issues at her office with some computers. Um, and wanted to know if I'd be interested in taking a look. She said it's really affecting um, quite a few things there, and her bosses were starting to question. So, we'll get started on the presentation, and I can go over some of the issues that she's seeing. Okay, when I met with Jacqueline, some of the things we were talking about in the area that she was complaining about is they're not getting their work done every day. This is something that's contractually between them and their clients. They need to get all the work done that they receive, and it's not happening. Uh, they're trying to get as much done as they can, so they're seeing an increase in their overtime. And one of the biggest problems she's seeing now is quite a few employees are doing a lot of complaining. Uh, so with that in mind, I decided, well, I'll come out and find out the problem, talk to the employees, and see what we can come up with. Some of the issues that she was seeing was interesting. She was, like I had mentioned, it was taking twice as long to scan a page. They were getting timeout messages from scanners. Scanners were locking up. You're getting error message about when they go to close their batches, and they're getting errors when it runs the end of batch script, and they're getting error messages. None of the employees really knew what the messages were saying. They were just clicking through them. Uh, so after talking with the employees, I went ahead and took a look at the computer to see if I could figure, what the problem was and see if we can get it fixed. During my evaluation, she has 8 computers there. I noticed that she's running several different operating systems, which is you really shouldn't do in a work environment. They should all be the same. Um, you can see she has 4 running Windows 7, a couple with Windows XP, and 2 of them are up to date with Windows 8.1. I noticed that the Windows Update was disabled on all their computers, so they haven't received any updates in a while. They're using Trend Antivirus, which is a good antivirus software, but they haven't updated their file since last year. I noticed the logons for all the computers are the same. Everybody uses the same logon, they use the same password. That can be an issue. One of the bigger issues I noticed was that on the local drives, the image files, they're dated back to 2013, and that's not good. And it's taking up a lot of disk space, as well as the fact that the disk space is running low. I noticed the computers, when I was checking to see how they were connected to the network, the 8 computers were attached to a small router in the room, a slow speed router. And there was only one connection from that router to the main router, which didn't really make a lot of sense. And the scanner drivers, that's the software used to run the scanners, were outdated. They're old. And the base software, after checking with their vendor, there was one recent upgrade that they hadn't had yet, so we needed to get that taken care of. The key success factors of this is pretty simple. We want to create a standard platform right across the board with the newest version of Windows 8.1. There is a newer version, Windows 10, but I always recommend my customers to hold back on the new ones that come out. I want to make sure that all the updates are being run on a regular basis to make sure that there's security updates from Windows and the signature files from the antivirus software. I want to try to get a direct connection between the computers and the main router. Going from a computers to a smaller router, and then from there to the other one is not a good idea. I'd like to see about getting the network administrator to go ahead and set up some unique logons. That's a security issue when you don't do things like that. You need to have unique logons and passwords. You can have an administrator log on for your manager, but for the employees, you need to have a unique regular logons. After I mentioned, I contacted the vendor. He's going to download an update. It's a very small patch that goes through. It takes a matter of seconds to run. We need to clean up the local hard drives so it has at least no more than 1 week's images, and possibly no images at all. And I want to make sure that, of course, the scanner drivers are up to date. Some of the benefits and the risk once we get this completed, they need to keep regular maintenance on these. There's certain things you have to do on a monthly basis, and if you don't do them, then eventually, you can run into issues. Making sure that your Windows updates are running and that your newest virus signature files are downloading, things like that. And they need to address the procedure problem with the operators. When they have issues, error messages popping up, perhaps a screen print, and it needs to be addressed rather quickly. The benefits are really good. I mean, the work's going to flow a lot faster. There should be no interruptions. They should be able to process all their work daily, their EOBs, which they process. And it's increased security by having the virus software on there and keep them from having viruses. And it should knock the production downtime back to normal. And of course, the issue too is that fact that Microsoft is no longer offering updates to Windows XP. That's from a recent, not a recent, that was from a support paper from Windows that went out several years ago. The plan is that I will do this after hours. I talked to Jacqueline about this. We can start it off, after hours, maybe on a Friday where I can come in and get the cable run out, things like that. Manager, she'll be there, of course. The network admin should be present just to, get into the network room so we can connect the cables, and the network administrator can go ahead and set up the logons and passwords and the rights. Go ahead and download and install Windows 8.1, of course, on all the computers at the time. Go ahead and configure the Windows update so it runs automatically. I recommend those run daily if there are any, and she can do it in the middle of the night. That's fine. Same with the antivirus software, the signature file. She can run that in the middle of the night. That'll be fine. And if she wants, she can do it on a Friday. She asked me about if she could do it on a Friday. You can set it up. And we can't set it up to download every Friday, but nightly I recommend. But if she wants to do it on Fridays, we can do it on Fridays. I think we went through a lot of this already. One of the big things too I need to do is go through and modify the in the batch script, because that's what's happening is when they go to in their batch, all those images and the data is being copied over to the secure server, which is fine, but it's leaving the images and the data on the local computers, which is not what we don't want, because those hard drives are going to fill up. So looking at their batch script that's used, it's very simple. We just switch out the word copy, use the word move. It's the same as the copy, but the main difference is once it's copied over, then it removes it from the local drive. And of course, we're going to download, make sure we have all the newest scanner drivers downloaded and installed. The total cost for that, which is what she requested for me, is going to be about $725. And that includes a 10% discount. As I had mentioned to Jacqueline, that we can do this and get it all done in one day. We can break it multiple days, whatever she would like to request. At this time, she said she didn't know. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of it. Any questions? You feel free to contact me. And that's fine. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.